Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my channel, the Geographical. Now we will talk about sedimentary rocks formation. Sedimentary rocks are formed due to deposition of products, detritus, of weathering processes, whether they are solid or soluble, and are carried by transportation natural agents to depositional basins. So they are deposits in parallel layers, one over the other. Characteristics of sedimentary rocks. It covers three-quarters of Earth's crust in relatively thin layers. It represents 5% of only of rocks of Earth's crust in volume. Two, most of them have economic value as limestone, phosphates, coal, and iron deposits, and also sandstone. Three, includes muddy rocks in which oil, natural gas, kerosene are formed, and also porous rocks like sandstone, limestone, and sand in which oil, natural gas, underground water are stored. The types of sedimentary rocks are few relatively to those of igneous and metamorphic rocks, so it can be classified into a very limited number. Three of them are abundant, and those are mudstone, sandstone, and limestone, which form about 90% of sedimentary rocks. Classification of sedimentary rocks. The most common classification according to mode of formation. First, clastic detritus sedimentary rocks. They are classified according to the dominant size of their solid fragments in their components into the following classes. 1. Gravels deposits. Gravels consist of round fragments in the size of pebbles and boulders which are more than 2 millimeters in diameter. When gravels are lissified and consolidate by cementing materials, the rock is known as conglomerate, but if the grains have sharp edges, they are called breccias, which is a rock commonly used in the work of decoration, ornamentation of walls. Sands deposits. 2. Sands are composed of grains ranging from 2 millimeters to 62 microns in diameter. Most of these grains are quartz, and the lissified rocks are known as sandstone. From these sand deposits are the sand dunes in deserts. Micron equal 1 on 1000 millimeter. Mud deposits. They are composed of mixture grains of silt size is 62 to 4 microns, and clay size is less than 4 microns. Both are usually mixed to form mud deposits, such as most components of Egypt agricultural soil. When mud deposits become lissified, forming the mudstone, but they are usually show the facility or lamination as a result of compressing their components, and so it's called shale or laminated mud. We had shale هنا اللي هو shale mudstone, sandstone, and we have conglomerate when rounded gravels, or breccia which has sharp edges. Second, chemical sedimentary rocks. Chemical sedimentary rocks are formed as a result of precipitation of the dissolved salt in water, which is due to evaporation of water and the increases of salt concentration, or due to chemical reactions. Chemical sedimentary rocks are divided into 1. Calcareous rocks as limestone, which is found in stalactite, and stalagmite and dolomite, stalactite and stalagmite and dolomite. 2. Silica rocks, as flint rocks, rock, light and dark. 3. Evaporates rocks, as gemstone, hydrous calcium sulfite, anhydrite, calcium sulfite, and table salt rock, which is halite, mineral sodium chloride. These salts are deposits as a result of the evaporation of water from semi-cold or closed lake, inland lakes, or in the coastal سبخس اللي هي السبخات الساحلية. Man has used this phenomenon in the extraction of table salt from seawater by industrial evaporation in the salt works, rock salt. There are other types of chemical deposits such as some iron ores, sediments, and the most famous example in Egypt is oolitic iron ores at Aswan, which is composed of red iron oxide hematite. Third, biogenic and biochemical sedimentary rocks. Fossiliferous limestone. We all know that marine organisms build their inner skeleton or outer hard parts, shells, of calcium carbonate which they extract from sea water. When they die, the hard parts accumulate on the bottom of the sea to form fossiliferous limestone of biogenic origin, which are the solid remains of living marine organisms that may belong to vertebrates such as fish, extra, or invertebrates such as mollusks, coral reefs, and minute living organisms as foraminifera or plants as calcareous algae of organic origin. Phosphate rocks Phosphate rocks also contain fossilized remains of marine animals vertebrates containing phosphate in addition of phosphates minerals components which increases the concentration of phosphate ratio in the biochemical rocks. Coal is another type of economical biogenic rocks. It's formed when planets are buried in the bottom of the Earth away from oxygen for a long time. So the plant tissue lost their volatile constituents and carbon gets concentrated forming coal. This is usually done in the swampland behind river deltas where the conditions are suitable for landfilling, rapid burial, planet remains in the absence of air, this reducing environment. Energy resources in organic sedimentary rocks. 1. Oil and gas. Oil and gas, although they are not considered as deposits, but they have been formed and are stored within sedimentary rocks. Oil and gas are hydrocarbons composed of hydrogen and carbon, which have been formed by the decay of animal and plant remains of marine microorganisms, which are deposits to be buried with fine grains muddy sediments away from atmospheric air. These rocks are known as source rocks, where organisms are matured at a depth of 2 to 4 kilometers in the ground and the temperature ranges between 70 to 100 Celsius, and then changed into liquid and gaseous states of hydrocarbons. After that, the hydrocarbons moved or immigrate and accumulate to the porous reservoir rocks, which are made of sandstone, and sometimes limestone. 2. Oil shale kerosene. It's a muddy rock rich in hydrocarbons, are mostly of planet origin, and it's a waxy solid state known as kerosene, which decomposes, turns to oil substance when it's heated the rock to about 480 Celsius. It is an important source of energy, although it's not currently exploited, but kept as reserves until natural oil have been consumed of Earth, or when the price of its production is a competitor to production price of natural oil. Thank you very much. We will talk later about metamorphic rocks. Thank you for listening.